Welcome to today's market report.
European stocks hit record highs on Thursday as strong earnings from Novo Nordisk and Siemens helped outweigh weakness in miners and banking shares, with investors eyeing a policy decision from the Bank of England later in the day. The Pan-European Stock 600 inched up 0.3%, extending gains that took the index to all-time highs this week. Danish company Novo Nordisk rose 4.1% after it raised full-year outlook and posted above forecast quarterly earnings on strong sales and demand for its new obesity drug. German industrial firm Siemens climbed 3.6% as it lifted its profit forecast for the third time this year. European stocks are on course for their strongest weekly performance in 3 months, as upbeat quarterly earnings and loose monetary policy supported markets despite a surge in COVID-19 cases and concerns about inflationary pressures. Equity markets seem to be a little bit vulnerable right now. There is the Delta variant, fears of tightening as well as peaking earning growth. We cannot rule out a correction, according to RBC Wealth Management. But so long as there is no recession in sight, markets stand to recover. We continue to be constructive on equities. Stronger than expected quarterly reports have led analysts to lift their projection to a near 140% jump in second quarter profit for companies listed on the Stock 600, as per Refinitiv IBS data. UK's blue chip FTSE 100 slipped as Lloyds Banking Group tumbled after Goldman Sachs downgraded its stock to sell, while falling metal prices weighed on miners. Investors' focus is on the Bank of England's policy decision to be released at 12 p.m. London time for clues on when the central bank might start to lay out its plan for reversing its stimulus. Economists supported by Reuters expect the BOE to keep its benchmark interest rate at all-time low of 0.1% and leave its bond buying program on course to reach its £895 billion target size by the end of this year. Retailers took a hit as German online fashion company Zalando slid 8.7% after it said it had spent more on marketing to keep its consumers shopping. Adidas fell 4.6% after it raised its outlook for full-year sales and profitability, but took a hit in China. The crude oil WTI was up 0.59% at $68.53 per barrel. Brent was up 0.44% at $70.71 per barrel. Gold futures was down 0.02% at $1,814.05 per ounce. On the FX front, sterling edged higher against the dollar yesterday, buoyed by risk sentiment in markets, optimism over the outlook for COVID-19 in Britain, and anticipation of hawkish turn from the Bank of England when it meets today. Sterling has rebounded after most lockdown measures in England were dropped on 19th of July, reaching as high as 139.84 at the end of July. Since then, it has stayed mostly above 139. Eyes are also on the BOE, which is expected to maintain its nearly £900 billion bond buying program, although two policymakers have broken ranks to suggest that the time for tighter monetary policy might be nearing. The BOE is expected to be among the first of the world's main central banks to begin the process of stopping stimulus support. Eurodollar is extending its downside consolidation mode into European session as the dollar holds on to Wednesday's rebound ahead of a fresh batch of the US macro data. The main currency pair faced rejection once again at 119 and took a sharp U-turn towards 118 after the greenback spiked on record high US ISM services PMI and hawkish comments from Fed Vice Chair Richard Clarida. Clarida said that tapering could be brought forward earlier than expected as the labour market recovery is on its way to meet the substantial progress benchmark set by the Fed. Early on Wednesday, the spot rallied to test 119 as the US dollar lost ground and reached multi-day lows amid a big miss on the US ADP jobs data. On the euro side of the story, growing cases of the Delta COVID strain in the euro area and mixed German factory orders data make it difficult for the Eurobonds to attempt a recovery. Apart from the key Bank of England announcement, markets will also look forward to the US jobless claims data and the speech by the Fed official Waller for additional trading impetus. The dollar index was 0.1% higher at 92.302, pulling away from the 1-month low of 91.775 seen last week. Dollar yen rose 0.2% to 109.66.
This is today's market news. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.